Welcome back to the Roadside Rescue YouTube channel. I'm Ernest, and on today's episode, we have a customer whose car broke down, and I thought I was just going to go out, hook a jump box up, or do something quick and get it back on the road, and it turned out being far from that. But it started out as any other normal call. I got a call that somebody's car was stuck at daycare. They just drove there and turned it off, and then it wouldn't turn on. So let's hit the road, get over there, and see how it goes. I started filming at the beginning of my diagnosis process when I was out there, just to record some data. So let's hit the road, here we go. Alright, so first thing I did when I got here was plug my computer in just to see if there was any codes. And it looks like we have a few random codes here. I'm just trying to give you a better look. And there you can see a crankshaft camshaft code. So I'm thinking maybe a bad sensor is keeping it from starting. Well, boy, was I wrong. All I had to do was turn the key and it sounded something like this. That's not my audio, but it had a real uneven crank. There was obviously something maybe inside one of the cylinders even bouncing around, or something knocking against something. I thought maybe it was a spun rod bearing, and so there was just a loud clanking if you've ever heard something like that. Well, all I had to do was take out the first spark plug, which I did right before I pressed the button on my camera, because once I saw the damage, all I had to do was hit record. Check it out.
To fix what's inside, you'd have to go into it.
Yeah, so I'm gonna pull another spark plug and look, but if another spark plug is damaged, it's probably totaled. Like the engine would have to be replaced.
Oh wow.
And at that point, with a car like this, it's probably just worth it to buy a new car, a new used car. So what I had seen immediately was this first spark plug. When I pulled it out, there was a ton of damage on it, so that was indicative of something being inside the cylinder. And usually the only way to remove that is to disassemble the engine.
So do you think that would have just happened just recently?
Yeah. This one's easier to pull out. That other one was a lot more work to get out the whole time, so maybe this one's not damaged. I mean, either way, it's pretty much done. It's not damaged. A lot of these other ones. Honestly, at this point I already knew it was going to be bad, and I started advising the customer on the best way to find a new car and the best way to dispose of an old one. So if you wanted to find a junkyard, you could make some cash back. I can help you tow this like across the street to a different parking lot if you want to. So you don't want to get it towed away from you right now. If you have to have the title to give it to a junkyard, so you'd have to give them the title with it. Yeah, this one feels like that other one a little more. Oh, not anymore. Let's see. I'm gonna stick a camera down there now. I don't like to speculate too much, but I can say for sure it's not something you did. You didn't like start it weird or do something to make a piece of something get inside the cylinder. That's always happenstance.
Closed off.
Yeah. Okay, well, there's one dead cylinder. That's what it sounded like when I was cranking it too. Okay. And actually, because the crank sounded so bad, I thought it was gonna have maybe a broken rod even, so I went ahead and just stuck an extension down to make sure that all the cylinders were where they should be. They were, so I'm gonna put the inspection camera in next, and you'll be surprised what we find. Alright, so I got that inspection camera set up, and it was pretty easy to see what's down there. Let's get a closer look. That's a pretty obvious circle there. There's only one thing circular that might be down in an engine, and we dropped a valve. So that's a really unfortunate and weird circumstance, because they drove it here and then it wouldn't start again. So at some point along the ride, it dropped a valve and started making noise, and then wouldn't start again. And unfortunately, that'll ruin an engine, because the only way to fish a dropped valve out of an engine is by taking the cylinder head off. Unfortunately, this was the end of the line for this car. So this one's going to the junkyard, I presume. Pretty unfortunate news. I was able to give them a little bit of a discount on the call out for the bad news. If you like these videos, subscribe and leave a thumbs up to show me your support. You can donate at the links in the description if you want to help out. If you like this video, I think you're going to love this one, and I'll see you on the next episode of Roadside Rescue. That's a job well done.